Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I didn't post a video last Sunday, and hopefully this video will explain why. Our little one turned 1 and we had a birthday party for her on Saturday. So by Sunday I was really exhausted, and even though I had a video filmed, I just didn't have it in me to edit a video that day. I just really only wanted to relax. But in today's video I'm going to be finally sharing with you all my behind the scene DIY projects and how I prepped for the garden themed birthday party. Her name is Eden, so it only made sense that we had a garden themed party. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be sure to leave a link down below of everything that I used in this video. Also, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's get into the actual video. So here's the first project. Here I have two canvas that I got from Hobby Lobby. I have a big one and a small one, and what I plan on doing with these two is the small one I'm going to write the number 1 on it because she's turning 1, and then the bigger one will be obviously the theme for the party, which in this case is a Garden of Eden themed party. I also have some gold foiled letters that I will be using for this as well. I'm simply going to be sticking the letters onto the canvas. I ran into a little bit of a trouble with this project because, as you know, canvas is not very smooth. It has a rigid surface, so this adhesive on the letter wasn't really able to stick well. So I had to try a few things to get it to work. First, I try to use glue gun to stick it down on the edges to hold it down, but that didn't work out because by the next day the areas that didn't have the glue gun had all lifted up. So I had to go back in again with E6000 glue to glue everything down, and then I put some heavy books on top, and that's how I was able to get it to work. So if you're gonna do this project, I highly suggest that you go with a smooth surface, and I think that will work much better. So what I'm doing here is writing out the theme of the party with the same letters, but with this time around I went with cursive letterings, and I did the garden and off in small font, and then with her actual name I used a bigger font in the same lettering. And again, this was also a struggle. Like I said, I went in with glue gun at first, and then I went in with E6000 later on. But in the end, it just came out the way I wanted it. It was just a little bit of a struggle. Had I known what I know now, I would have gone with a much smoother surface instead of a canvas. But this is how it turned out in the end. The Garden of Eden, which is the theme of the party, and then the number 1 spelled out because she is turning 1. To the next project, and with this project I am doing a floral arrangement that will be going behind the cake and dessert table. So I have some full flowers, some pool noodles, some wire cutter, and some glue gun and scissors. Now I actually used fresh flowers for the arrangement for the actual party, but for this particular arrangement I wanted to keep it for other purposes, whether to decorate her room or her play area. That's why I went ahead and used full flowers, but for the actual party the centerpieces were fresh baby's breath, which is one of my favorite flowers. But anyways, what I'm doing here is just cutting the length that I wanted. I knew I didn't want the whole full length of the pool noodle, so I'm just going to cut a piece off, and I'm going to repeat the same process with a second pool noodle. And then what I'm going to be doing, which you will see in a little bit, I tried to use a glue gun to glue the 2 noodles together so I can start doing my arrangement, but the glue gun was too hot that it was melting the pool noodle. So I ended up going in with a twine rope just to tie the two together, which actually ended up working much better than the glue gun. because the twine allowed it to be more secured, and then it also helped me to hang it up when I needed to do so. So here I'm simply going in with the twine to just tie the two pool noodles together. Guys, in this video I'm just simply sharing my creative process with you. Sometimes I have an idea in mind and then I start doing it and I realize it's not gonna work out this exactly how I have it in my head, so I have to like tweak things around and find other ways to make it work, but in the end it always ends up working. So here I have all my full flowers. I got all of these from Hobby Lobby. I'm simply gonna use the wire cutter to just snip the flowers up the actual stem, and then this part was probably the easiest part, because once I had it all snipped, all I was doing next was just sticking the flowers into the pool noodle. You're gonna see that in a little bit. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the process. This part was a lot relaxing actually. I enjoyed doing this and it was really easy. It went by actually really fast as well. So I just started sticking the stems, because it's made of wire, it just went into the noodle very easily. And then right at this point is when I realized that the width of my arrangement won't be exactly how I wanted it. So I went ahead and added one more pool noodle, and I did the same thing. I just used the same twine to tie it together to give me the exact width that I wanted. Now if you were having an event where, say, you're having a long table and you were doing a floral arrangement down the table, then you can most likely get away with 2 noodles and then just kind of put that in the middle of your table. But with this I wanted it a little bit larger, so I went in with a 3rd noodle. Alright, so now that we have the 3rd noodles added, I'm just going to go ahead and do what I was doing in the beginning, just going ahead and sticking the stem of the flowers into the noodle. This I did in no particular order, just kind of went ahead and did this as I went and just used random flowers as I went. Like I said, this was probably the fun part of the projects that I did, snipping and sticking the flowers into the pool noodle. It was so easy, and you'll see how it turned out in the end. It came out really nicely. You can use this for so many purposes. Alright, and this is what it looks like so far. As you can see, it looks a little bit flat than I would like it to look. There isn't much movement because the flowers were pretty much all stacked together on the same length level. So I wanted to add a little bit more movement. You can see I started doing that a little bit at the end over there. So I'm going to continue on with the rest of the arrangement, and what I'm going to be doing to add movement to this is I'm going to be adding some more greenery. This is what the back looks like, but here I have some greenery also that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to be doing the same thing, going ahead and using the wire cutter to cut it all off the huge stem, and then I'm in no particular order. I'm just going to be sticking this into the arrangement to my desired fullness, and again this is solely to give it some movement. and it also makes it look a little bit more realistic even though it's full flowers. And this is what it looks like once I have all the greenery incorporated, and I like it way more better this way. It looks much more organic and natural. So I'm gonna move on to the next project. This one I am doing the same thing I did previously but with a much smaller pool noodle, and with this I am going to be tying it to her high chair. So these are just some leftover flowers from various different projects. As you can see, some of them didn't even have stems on them, so I will be gluing this for the most part. But before I do, I'm passing a twine rope through the hole in the noodle just so I can use that to tie the arrangement to a high chair. And then I'm gonna go ahead in no particular order, just glue the flowers to the noodle until it's to my desired fullness. And then I'm also going ahead and adding some greenery just to match up with the bigger arrangement and also to give it some more movement. And this is what that looks like. It's a teeny tiny piece of the other big one. Now I'm going to move on to this third project. This one is I'm making a wreath. So what you see here is just a ring, a beaded wooden wreath that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to be adding some floral arrangement to this. What I did was just simply arrange the flowers in the way that I wanted it, and then I used the twine again to tie it to the wreath, and then just to create an arrangement on the wreath. And that's pretty much what I did with this one. So here I'm just going ahead and cutting it up and arranging it the way I would like it to lay down. And then once I had that done, I'm going to be using the thread to tie it, and then I'll use the wire cutter to just snip off those ends that are sticking out. You can use a bigger wreath to do this. They have bigger sizes of the ring at Hobby Lobby, and you can use this for your door or a bunch of other things as well. I also added some few flowers. I used glue gun for the white one that you see over there, and then I used a twine to tie this one to the end of the stem. I didn't want too much of the stem to be showing, so I'm gonna use these two flowers to cover those. Just went ahead and repeated the same thing on the other wreath. That's what these two look like. These are also really nice to repurpose after the party. Definitely going to be using it for other things around the house. Now we're going to move on to another project. This time around I'm making a headband for her. I was going to make one from scratch, but the dress that I got surprisingly came with a floral headband. So what I'm doing now is just adding more flowers that I already have to the headband the dress came with, just to give it some fullness and some dimension. So that's just what I'm doing, just little pieces of the flowers and greenery that was left over. I'm just using a glue gun to stick that to the headband. And that's what that looks like. It's small but cute and still made a statement, and she looked so cute in it with her dress. And then the next project is the gift bag that we gave to all the kids. we had these drawstring backpacks with some coloring books, some crayons, some pencils, some erasers, some sharpeners, and then my favorite part were these tumblers. I will leave a link down below. You can find these on Amazon. They had really good reviews and they came in so many cute colors, so I included one of these in each of the bags. I had unicorn pink bags and dinosaur bags. I think I made 20 of each bag. But yeah, that's pretty much what was in the gift bag. So what I did was, for each bag I just went ahead and added a coloring book, one of the tumblers, a pencil, and a sharpener. I later on added erasers as well, even though I didn't show that in this video, and then a pack of Crayola crayons. And then I also ended up adding candy. You guys, I couldn't decide if I should add candy or not, because I know not every parent want to give their kids candy, but it's also a birthday party and I feel like most kids go to birthday parties for the candy. My sister thought I was thinking too much about this, so I went ahead and added the candy. Initially I wanted to add those cutie oranges, but those kind of have a strong smell, so I didn't want to leave them in the bag for so long that it would overpower, the scent will overpower the content in the bag. So I just went ahead and later on added M&Ms to all the bags. And yeah, this is pretty much the gift bags that we give to all the kids that came. This is what they all looked like once they were all done. Like I said, I made 20 of each and they were all gone. I think I only had one left. I also made a few balloon garlands. This one that you see was for the cake table, using this table in my background of my sit down video several times. That's what we used for the cake. And then I also made another garland for the ice cream bar. I wanted to film those, but I just didn't have time to do that. I also didn't have time to film us actually doing the decorating. My three sisters came over to help me and we were in such a rush to get it all done. Our chairs table tent was provided by a company called Junior Rental. They also provided the music, the cotton candy machine, and the popcorn machine. Make sure to leave their information down below. If you're in the central Massachusetts area and looking for event rental, they are the people to use. And then this is what the cake table looked like with the floral arrangement. I'll be sure to leave a link to the vine that I used as well. But that's everything all laid out. Balloon garland, and then the high chair. And then this is what it all looks like once we had the treats on the table. Everything came out so nicely and on theme. And for the adults, we had some cornhole and some jumbo jenga. And for the kids, we had the bouncy house. And that's pretty much all there is. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in about a week for my next video.